This is incredible. Wow, the devouring beast in Nigeria's political sphere has been unmasked. The reason why Nigeria it is what it is today, the deep secret they have been hiding over the years, has been unmasked by this great man. My people, I welcome you to this wonderful and exciting moment here where we don't just only break the news, but we give in-depth analysis and expositions, of course, regarding the current happenings and trending issues, of course, bordering on social, political, and economic sphere as Nigeria is concerned, and of course, across board whenever the case, of course, becomes necessary. We are back here again. Welcoming you is Chigozie Ndibo, the host anchor. It's been an exciting moment here. I will tell you, this is the Obengam news you must hear. Everybody must get to know the unmasking of the political beast that have kept Nigeria where it is, of course, in the wheel of motionless pains and agonies. Despair over the decades is independence. Follow me as you watch this monster being revealed. And if this is your first time watching us, please kindly subscribe to this channel, like our videos, and share these videos to everyone that may come across you. The political beast must be dealt with for Nigeria to move forward. Just listen to this video and I will come back in a moment.
Don't ever believe that a politician is a leader. Don't ever believe that. Because the system that we have produces politicians. It doesn't produce leaders. And so you can have a politician who knows nothing about leadership and he's leading you. Politicians are concerned about the next election. That's all they're interested in. That's why they cannot be leaders. But leaders are different. Leaders are concerned about the next generation. I want you to compare those two thoughts the next time you have a politician come to your house wanting to vie for your vote. Just ask him, what is your vision for my children? I will sit and listen for 20 minutes for you to tell me what it is. He will leave your house because he has no interest in your children's children. His concern is to stay in power, to keep the position, to win the next election. This is why they cannot lead. When you are going to have a conversation with a politician, you should actually try this as a test. You, by the way, as a citizen of a community, you have a right to be seen by the mayor. Hope you know that. If you voted for a mayor, the mayor works for you. Therefore, you have a right to see him. You can make an appointment to see any public officer you voted for. Did you know that? That's your legal right. If he don't want to see you, you can take him to court. That's democracy. So I want you to make an appointment to go and see your mayor or go and see your governor and just sit and say, I want 30 minutes with you, sir. And ask him about that list right there. Sir, what is your purpose for being in leadership in this city? What is your purpose? The first question will make him very nervous. Second question, what is your passion for our community? He'll be wondering what you're talking about. What are you talking about? I just want to build roads and bridges and provide jobs. No. What is your passion? And this is why we need to question the leaders we have. And so I have a little thought here. I call it politics versus leadership. Let's talk about it for a second. Number one, politicians focus on programs, not vision. Number two, politicians' priority is securing the next election, not securing the next generation. Their focus is different. Number three, politicians are preoccupied with promises, not purpose. What we need is statesmen. Statesmen. We don't need more politicians. A statesman is an interesting human. A statesman think of the next generation.
Hello, my people. You can now agree with this video, and of course, with this great man who has unveiled the political beast that have remained a cancer, of course, a very deadly tumor in the progress and the prosperity of the Nigerian state. He affirms, of course, that don't ever believe a politician because the system we have, of course, encourages or produces politicians are not leaders. This is very much true, and that has been, of course, the cog in the wheel of our progress. We have leaders who people who assumes the position of leadership only to satisfy their personal needs, personal wants. They do not put, of course, the nation and the visions to build an egalitarian society. They are only there, of course, to embezzle and wreak, of course, havoc within the society, within the nation and the states where they unfortunately, of course, seized or assumed the office. You can see what is playing out in today's governors, of course, of the states in Nigeria, where billions have been earmarked for their compensation, and despite the fact that the security votes, the billions that have been expended without accounting for it. What a callous society, what a callous system that only encourages politicians who are there just for their personal prospect and have no vision for the next generation. They have no plan, they have no template. They only run their programs, of course, which is built and centered within their personal gratifications and not in the interest of the population, millions of Nigerians, youths, of course, who are wallowing without having any shepherd, any guidance or prospect, people whose life and visions have been shattered for the very reason that they found themselves within this ungoverned space where we have politicians that are self-centered, very greedy, and very callous and insensitive to the plight of the masses. This is very true and more true, especially in a time and dispensation, where, of course, an average politician will do whatever possible within his reach. He can go extra mile to ensure that he clinches to power, not just because he intends to serve, but because it is a juicy opportunity. It's an opportunity with so many privileges that can allow them exploit the entire masses, of course, and the country at the expense of those who have entrusted them with such responsibility. How do we get out of this world becomes an issue of concern. Priority is not, of course, in the interest of the masses, but the priority is securing the next election and to perpetuate themselves within the corridor of power, irrespective of the fact that they are found wanting and, of course, that they are very far from the reality. They lack the character and the courage, of course, to build an egalitarian society that will be good for all as sundry. where you can be proud to identify billions of naira. Of course, different states are indebted to, and some running into several hundreds of billions, and yet nothing to show for it. The monster has been, of course, unveiled, and not until we decide as a people to get it right, not until we decide as a continent of Africa to move forward, or we may not be prepared to get rid of these cancerous cells within the fabrics of our existence that have made life almost unbearable, where we lose our loved ones on daily basis without holding them accountable. It is so pathetic and unfortunate that people are dying in the most gruesome and unfortunate manner because of the negligence and perhaps apathy and the lack of interest to protect life and property, which is the primary essence of governance. And where such, of course, constitutional responsibility is considered to have fell short of expectation, then that government is questionable. The existence and sincerity of such government should be questioned. And that is where Nigeria is. How can we deal with this monster? Become a subject of interest, become a subject of concern. It doesn't matter wherever you might be at this moment. You might be in diaspora, you might be elsewhere, not within the Nigerian states. And of course, if you're within the Nigerian state, it is a issue of great concern which everybody must rally around to get rid of this cancerous and demonic, so to say, beasts parading themselves as politicians whose only interest is to gratify and gravitate towards their selfish satisfaction at the expense of over 180 million Nigerians, who most of which are homeless, living in IDPs, not having any hope in sight to return to their ancestral home, most of which have been killed and their ancestral home run and taken over by undisclosed militias whose interest, of course, is to exterminate the people and reoccupy their home and ancestral heritage. What a shame, and we have a government who, of course, appears, of course, to be silent in the midst of this national catastrophe, in the midst of this pogrom genocide. And it is very unfortunate that we found ourselves. The very reason is because we don't have leaders, we don't have statesmen, we don't have people who are committed to the will and the good will of the people. It's unfortunate. I may want to know what is your own position regarding this and how can we move forward as humanity. That is the center and the focus, of course, of interest. Humanity must be savage at this moment. It is no, there is no other better time to do this than now.